Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me today. I'm going to share a scrapbook layout that I have designed totally in Design Space and cut on the Cricut, and I've added a couple of little added stamped images. I haven't shared a scrapbook layout for a while, so I thought it was time. This is the July-August catalogue, and I'm going to use the Wanda collection. I just love these papers. PML cards are gorgeous, the die cuts are gorgeous. They're perfect for outdoor activities. And I'm also going to use these two stamp sets that come with thin cuts. So I'm going to use the Wanda card making and the Wanda scrapbooking set. So let's get started. You can see the two sets here that I'm going to use, and I've used elements from both of these on these pages, and it's going to be a double page spread. And I'm also using the Stitch Simple brackets, which are from the core catalogue. I've gone ahead and I've laid out the second page so you don't have to watch me put all of that together. I thought what I would do today is assemble the left page with you. You can see I've got a triangle design with this gorgeous little icon paper and the typography paper behind it, and then there are spaces for the photo holders. I've stamped this in sapphire ink, and you have to be quite careful when colouring, so I've stayed away from the edges of the outline. These are my photo holders, photo mats. I've got some little icons to go on the side. I've got a title that I've cut out on the Cricut. Now, because we have 12-inch mats on the Cricut and 12-inch paper, Cricut Design Space does allow you to do a 12-inch cut if you use a longer mat, but you have to manipulate it quite a bit. So for the ease of the kits that I put together, this area here is going to be hidden behind a photo holder. So I've just split that out. This is 2 layers, so there is another layer that goes underneath here that I've cut out of almond cardstock. So I can get an additional layer with this, or if you didn't want that part, you could just have that with the white showing through, but I quite liked bringing in a bit of the almond cardstock as I'm using that elsewhere. Now what I do when I lay out and put pieces together, I usually start at the outside when I've got something running across the page, and then I bring it in, and you'll notice these pieces here that have been cut into a triangle have a black line around them, and that's drawn in Design Space as well. So that makes an added feature, especially when you're using pattern papers that have got a white edge. Sometimes there needs to be either inking on the edges, or I find drawing a line around them in Design Space when you're cutting them makes them stand out a little bit more. Now, the easiest way I've found for doing something like this, when I've got the strips as well, is to adhere these to the page. So I've done my outside pieces, lining them up on my Versamat so that they're centered. And I'm also going to use a dot roller when I'm adhering these, because I want the points to stick down. So I can run off the edges of all the points of the triangle. And then when I'm placing these down, I want the icons, they do all run in one direction, so they run across the page. If I turn it around this way, they'll be upside down tents, but this design has got all the images standing up in one direction. So I want to make sure that I put all of those in the same orientation. Now you'll notice that I didn't press down too hard on these so that I can easily adjust them if I need to, but they all look pretty good, so that I can go ahead and press those down. I've got this little saying here from the Wanda's Scrapbooking set. I love that you can tick the boxes. I'm actually going to pop this up on foam tape, and I'm just going to use the inside of this heart shaker. But before I adhere it, I'm going to put the backpack down so that that comes up like this. I've used the Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend Brown Grey blend, and I've used the lightest shade just to add some shading around here, just to give it a little bit of depth. And then I'm going to bring in some of the stitched brackets that I've cut. Now, I quite often don't cut the whole entire piece. I might cut the whole piece and then split them up to spread across a double page spread, or I'll just cut sections of them out of scrap paper. And I'm going to just arrange these . And I'm going to put this little tent on here. And yes, I've fussy cut those out. So I'm just messing around with the placement of that. I'm putting the sapphire cardstock off so that it doesn't go over the top of the sapphire photo holder, just to give a bit of breathing space. And then it's just a simple matter of turning this over and trimming that section off with my scissors. And then I'm going to put this little tent on some foam. And that gives it somewhere to live just by putting a little cluster of those stitched brackets. Here's the completed double page spread. You can see by bringing in these trimmed, stitched, simple brackets on this side here, brings it across and makes the eye flow across the page and makes everything look nice and cohesive. Using both of these sets on this page brings in a lot of fun elements. I love all these little icons that you can stamp, and you'll notice this one here, this little postage stamp, that has a thin cut, and so does the backpack, so that makes it easy. But these tiny little icons, I've just quickly fussy cut those out. It didn't take long at all, and you don't have to be overly precise. Once they're on the page, they look great. And adding a little bit of shading with the lightest of the brown grey marker adds that extra little touch that just dresses it up. You don't need to blend this out at all. You just go around the edges of it and let the image do the work. I'll put some still shots of this up at the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed watching me put the left side of this page together and seeing how quickly things come together once they've been cut on the Cricut. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.